Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm going to be creating a card using the Clear Stamp of the Month set from Spellbinders. This one is for June. This set is called Circle of Sunshine, and it coordinates beautifully with the small die of the month as well as the large die of the month for June. But I'm going to create a card without using the large and the small die of the month, just in case you don't subscribe to those two kits. And I wanted to give you an idea of how to use it all on its own. I will use some beautiful cardstock from Spellbinders and some circle dies. I'm going to pull out my cardstock and put it all across my mat. And I'm going to be doing a lot of stamping first. The colors I'm using are pink sand, saffron. This next one is alabaster. And then beeswax. This one's banana cream. And then persimmon. I wanted to choose all yellows and orangey colors and one pink. So I have all of my cardstock on my work mat. And I'm going to be using some VersaFine Onyx black ink. I'm putting down my anti-static powder first, because I am going to do some heat embossing, and then I can just start stamping. I'll stamp out this cute image of the half sun, and I'm going to leave enough space in between these images so that I can cut them out with some circle dies. So I'll stamp one image at a time across these panels. And then I already have a paper set up so that I can pour over some clear embossing powder. I just put a little bit of that on and then tap it off. I'm trying to be careful not to smear the other panels as I work. This was the fastest way that I could think of doing this because I want a bunch of images for this card. And I do have a lot left over, I usually do, and then I just keep them for another card project. So let's stamp this cute little flower next. And again, I'm leaving enough space in between my images. And then I'll pour over the clear embossing powder. I'll speed this up so that we aren't here all day, but these are some birds. There are a lot of beautiful images in this set. And then here's a cute one with mountains and a road and a sunshine. The sentiment that I like the best says "Glow on, girl," and I stamped that a few times. There's also some stars and many others that I didn't even use. I'm going to clean up my embossing powder and then allow my heat tool to warm up and melt the embossing powder all at once on all of these panels. And this goes really fast because these are such small images. These images work really perfectly with the large die of the month and the small die of the month. I will have videos where I use those die sets coming out really soon, and I did pair them with this Clear Stamp of the Month set for June. But in those sets, they have circle dies that can cut out all of these images. In this set, they really have some fun sentiment strips as well. The one that I really like says, "You're my favorite person on earth." And then there's a long one that says, "A family is a circle of friends that love you." Okay, all my panels are ready to be die cut, and I do this off camera because it did take quite some time. But I used the two smallest circle dies. For the sentiment on this card, I used the third smallest die. But I just wanted to add a little more color to these circles, so I'm bringing in some Distress Oxide inks. This one is called Kitsch Flamingo. I'm just going to put a little bit along the sides of these circles. This adds a lot to the card, I think. I'll do all of the pink ones, and then I can move on with my next color. But as you can see, I have quite a few circle dies here. It's always good to have more than enough, and you can always save the rest for another card. So next, I'm using Crackling Campfire over this persimmon cardstock. And as you saw just a second ago, I do buff off the Distress Oxide inks off of my embossed images using a tissue. My next color is Abandoned Coral. I'm using it over the saffron. Over the beeswax cardstock, I'll use Dried Marigold. And I use this on the alabaster cardstock as well. And then once these are all ready to go, I can start putting together my card. I'm using a piece of onyx black cardstock. I'll mat this black panel with a piece of brushed gold cardstock. And the gold cardstock measures 5.5 by 4.25. You'll be able to see a sliver of the brushed gold cardstock from behind the black panel. And now I can start putting down all of my circles. I wanted to create kind of a bokeh style card with all of these circles. I'm going to put my sentiment, my main piece, down first. And I popped it up with some foam adhesive. This will go in the center of the card. I'll use my handy tweezers to put this down on the panel. Once this is in place, I'll start adding all of my circles. And once I have them where I like them, some of them I'm going to pop up with foam adhesive, and some I'm going to glue down flat. So I showed this card to my husband, and he looks at it and he says, "Why didn't you add more colors instead of just all of the yellows and the pink?" So I explained that I wanted this to be all sunshine, bright, happy colors with just a touch of pink. So it took me a few minutes to soothe my rumpled spirits after that comment, but he is right. It would look really pretty with a myriad of colors on this card. But I still really like the golds and the yellows. I think it goes along perfectly with the sunshine theme of this card. So I'm going to put the last circle in place right here. And then, of course, it needs some gold gems on this panel. So I will add quite a few to this card. And I like these really teeny tiny ones. I usually use larger sequins and gems on my cards, but I'm really liking the look of these small ones on my different cards. So let's attach this panel to a white card base. I'm using some dot liner to adhere this. This is a landscape side folding card, and here is a close-up look. What do you guys think? Do you think I should have used different colors of cardstock like my husband suggested? Thank you all for watching. I hope you were inspired. Have a wonderful day, my crafty friends. Bye.